Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Sunday, August 6th, 2023, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Now Mind You podcast. This is episode 80, Manga. I'm TJ.
I'm Matt.
I'm Bryce.
Everybody's in the building. As far as announcements go, once again, please be sure to check out our YouTube page, check out the Manga Caps. Remember that we are on almost all distribution platforms as we speak. But with that, in terms of the docket we have for y'all today, we have Hajime no Ippo, we have Sakamoto Days, we have Kaiju number 8, we have Jujutsu Kaisen, and we have My Hero Academia. We will also be going over our favorite chapters this week, whether it covers what we're covering today or stuff we read outside the podcast. And of course, we'll take a look at the topic of the week, which is what this week, fellas?
Our top 5 mangaka pet peeves. I
I'm telling
already
you
know y'all
something.
motherfuckers acting a fool.
This was a TJ topic, and I remember the day I added it to our shared document because I was pissed off.
Oh my god!
Oh.
I actually didn't know which one of us put that in there. I was like, "Damn, was this me?
That
Or
was
was
me.
it?" I had no clue.
It
Damn,
was me because
bro,
I
it was
remember
me all along.
I had either read My Hero or I had just read Kaiju. You know what? It was the last time Kaiju did a cover page chapter, and I was like, I've had enough, and that's when I added. That's when I added this topic. But I digress a little bit. With that, Matt, please take us into Ippo.
All right, so I'm not even finna be humble with it. We finna just jump into one of the greatest manga of all time, Hajime no Ippo.
Light intro, of course.
Light intro, obviously, very respectful. Before I get into this, I'm just gonna say that I know I say this like probably every other week or every few weeks, but like it's incredible that this series is still going, but it somehow has managed to still be like intriguing. Like it still keeps you interested. Like they really play the long game with character development, and this is really an example of that. So this is chapter 430, and it's called The Two with No Destination. Now, where we pick up from last week is they were teasing that they were about to start going into Ryo Mashiba's background, right? After Ippo and Kumi were basically on their date that they were not calling a date. And we learned a little bit that part of the issue that Mashiba has, as far as, you know, him always kind of being viewed as this bad guy and stuff like that, is he has a rage problem. He's a very serious anger issue, which clearly was onset from the immense amount of trauma that was placed on him and his sister. And in terms of trauma, I mean, not only losing their parents, but what we find in the following chapter being essentially Mashiba being put in a position to have to be the guardian for his sister that even their own parents didn't think he would have been able to do. And then at essentially every turn getting screwed over by people, and then finding out his parents had a debt, and doing everything he could essentially, like in the most anime way possible, right? Like working in the shadows so his sister could work in the light. That's kind of the best way to put it, right? Taking care of the bills, letting her be able to essentially paying for her to go to nursing school, which they haven't said, but like she ain't paid to go to nursing school. You know what I'm saying? Like, this includes like Mashiba getting involved with the Yakuza to try to take care of their debts and things like that. But the thing that we learn is when Mashiba snaps off, when he flies off the handle, he blacks out. And he essentially feels as if he's being taken over by another entity. And we see him try to
Jr. Yes,
basically, yeah, we see him try to overcome this, and he even tries to atone for it. He goes to some of the guys that he heard him was like, "Fine, do whatever you want," and then with him essentially being and if you guys watched or read Hell's Paradise manga, you'll get where I'm coming from. Him essentially becoming the Gabimaru in that situation where they're like nothing they're hitting him with is even really doing anything. Yeah, like he's bleeding and shit, but like he's not even reacting. And then they're like, well, doesn't he have a sister? Snaps and instantly takes out like all of these people. But we see that it's more of an internal problem for him. He's not just inherently a bad guy. He's struggling with trying to. It seems like he's just a guy that's struggling to stay on the straight and narrow, and he can't seem to help it when he flies off the handle. I mean, he actively was trying not to, literally telling like the people beating on him, like, stop, please stop. Like, I can't keep it in. Stop. And yeah, man, I'm not gonna say it was like a rough chapter, but it's like for a lot of reasons I'm definitely not gonna get into. This shit really hit close to home. And I mean, I've never been afraid to say, and TJ will back me on this, Mashiba's always been my guy in Hajime no Ippo. And we pretty much are now going to figure out how he ended up with that extremely nice man that always takes him around to other gyms and is consistently embarrassed by Mashiba. The guy that basically asked Ippo to beat Mashiba's ass so he would stop being a demon. Yeah, we end with Mashiba being in jail for essentially beating the brakes off at least 10 people by himself, like no less than 10. And the chapter ends with him getting out of jail, and his first thought is his sister. Now it's like it's kind of hard for me to like verbalize all of it, but it's just tough because he's going through all of these things. He's being put in these kind of fucked up situations, but ultimately he's in these situations trying to help, like trying to do the right thing. And just, for a guy to get stuck in a situation where they're consistently trying to do the right thing and it just nothing they do is right, and he doesn't want to put his sister in a situation where she can't be helped or where people can't look out for her. He even found a place for her to go, and they was like, I mean, she could stay, but you be on some other shit. We don't really know about you. And it'll be curious. I'm very curious to see what they're gonna do with Mashiba in the next chapter, because he's getting out of jail. But as far as sorry, I know I'm kind of rambling, but as far as like how they have contextualized Mashiba's character, it's like I don't know if I'm getting death flags or if I'm literally just getting more background on him, because the belief is just he's the mean older brother of the main character's love interest who like has good intentions and by all means has just been hardened by life, but we are really realizing how fucking hard that life was. So everybody has their path, and it's no different than a lot of other guys. This is actually like somewhat of a common story you would even see within the boxing community, so I don't know, man. This one was a good one, man. This is a great chapter. I'm gonna pass to TJ.
Hold on, it like just my screen just went over to my notes or whatever, but no, for me it's essentially I super echo what you just said, Matt. I think if I were to go into my notes, you can definitely see based on this chapter and I guess the tail end of the last one when it kind of started diving into this flashback, why Mashiba is so protective of Kumi. They're literally getting taken advantage of by everybody, relatives, friends of their parents, even what would appear to be regular ass businessmen. They just see this young man who's clearly not catching a break, and they see that vulnerability, and their first thought is, how can I exploit him, right? And listen, if you want to tug at my heartstrings, just give me a story of someone not catching a break. I can almost always relate to that. We're diving into the deep end of Mashiba's trauma, but I can really understand now again why he's so protective. I didn't know at one point he was essentially kind of a bloodhound in that he was out here collecting debts on behalf of some Yakuza, right? And I didn't know it got to the point where some of these gangsters were threatening her life. I didn't know that was the reason why he went to jail. Mashiba's got my respect. That's all I have to say. I'm looking forward to the next chapter just to see how it ties into the present day. But yeah, this chapter was insane. In a good way. That's all I have to say. Well, hold on. I do have to add on one bit too, just to kind of cover the tail end thing you had said about the context with Mashiba's character about whether or not it is a death flag. I don't think it is a death flag. I think.
I don't mean for him.
No,
I didn't mean for him.
I was gonna say it could also be an instance of the fact that Ippo still has not made that move toward the ring, and we are currently in that phase, that arc where all of the characters surrounding the main character are moving on. We're just getting more. We're getting more context. We're getting more depth. We're getting more development on Mashiba's character. which I honestly don't mind, because this manga is a great example of having a large cast of characters and each one of them being fleshed out properly. And this actually ties into the topic of the week, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But each one being fleshed out properly and you not forgetting any characters because they've been treated so well. But again, this has been a manga that's been around since '89, so it's what it is. I have nothing else.
It's been doing it that well since '89, though.
Yeah. Other mangakas take notes.
Oh yes, indeed.
I can think of one. I ain't gonna take it there. Not yet.
Not yet.
Hero Academia, my mid hero. Let's go.
Do you want to just do it next? Is that how you feeling right now?
You just want
y'all want me to do it?
All right,
Hell
Sakamoto
no.
Days, Yuto Suzuki. All right, we're in chapter 130, titled Reunion Part 2. Sorry, y'all, I just had to cut off the
You had to. Quick. That was smart.
Where do we leave off? Ain't no fucking way.
Ain't no fucking way.
How would I summarize it in my big boy voice?
Ain't no fucking way. That's really how them niggas was in there feeling. Nah, this ain't it. It is. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no fucking way, boy.
Well, listen, if I were to summarize this, now I know that ain't who I think it is. Let me give this a review. Where's my anime announcement? Just had to get that out of the way.
I'm with you on that. I need this animated.
Bro, we're 130 chapters deep. Like, they can't. Kaiju has significantly less chapters, takes way more time to come out, and I love Kaiju, don't get it twisted. But they got an anime announcement. Where's my Sakamoto Days one?
To be fair, if Studio Mappa were to get this on their agenda,
man,
there would be a lot of dead artists.
Never seen their kids. I agree, Bryce.
Yeah,
they kids work there now.
Probably.
The kids doing the principal art just to get it started,
just to see their parents. And it's only on break times. They get like a 5-minute smoke break. Union.
They get to look through a window. He over there. Look, see, now you seen him. Get back to work. Get back to work, because you already know we got to drop this One Piece this weekend. I'm not fucking playing with y'all.
Oh my goodness. I'm calling Kashima Dr. Gero from here on out. This man really turned himself into an android. He was still breathing when they talked about throwing his ass into the recycle bin and not littering, bro. He was still breathing.
Bro, don't forget.
He was looking like
you didn't
Frieza.
Review the cherry. You didn't review it. Start over. You went to the end.
No, I just had to get that out of the way.
All right. Just say one thing.
Go ahead.
New Chia Pet. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, Bryce. Right, we gotta get this guy out of here, man.
No, I need to know what his pet peeves are. Sheen was hearing Leon's voice the whole time. Also, once Akira was sure that it was Leon in there, she reverted right back into anxiety youngster. The hardness in her eyes was gone. She went back to being like the character that we had grown accustomed to and that everyone had a tendency to like. You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a semblance of the softness that we had seen when we initially met her. I'm kind of upset that we did not get a flashback to that fateful day where Sakamoto and Uzuki met in that industrial area, that abandoned industrial area. I'm kind of sad we didn't get a flashback leading up to the time skip. I'm not ruling it out. I just thought it would have happened then and there, because that seems to be the formula typically. There's no way, to me, because I'll explain it right now, but there's no way that this is going to be the conclusion of the arc. It sounded like Leon, after Kashima blew himself up, he's like, ain't no justice. And sorry, it's just like, yo. He really was like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
He made his choice.
He made his choice. I don't even know what justice is anymore. Go to therapy, bro. There are options. We don't have to go right to this.
Why not? Having a badass day. He got his ass whooped by a random lady.
Oh my goodness, bro! She turned his arm into straight sushi.
I was talking about the magnetic chick, but you're right, 2 random ladies.
He
Gosh, been
really
taking
is.
a lot of L's, bro. He done took a lot of L's
He's
real
taking
quick.
in quick succession. Yeah, like
Hey,
this
and
might be the
also
same day.
that man got the gags low smile with the stitches. You know he been through some shit his whole life.
I mean, probably. You think he had to sew his own mouth shut while he was turning himself into an android? Anyway.
Bruh, we
Oh
low
my
key,
God.
low key.
Anyway, let's shut it down. Anyway,
Bro, you can't ignite Bryce and then
I
be
know,
like, shut it down.
my bad for beating the
I'm
monster in
chilling.
that
I'm
one.
chilling. I will.
But it feels like this is the conclusion of the arc because Leon scooped up Akira, well, Slur as Leon Slur, Sleon, I don't know, but
Leon.
it sounded like they were dipping out of Thailand. Nah, this can't be it. I got questions. Sheen's got questions. You guys got questions. Amane's got questions. Heisuke for sure got questions. Bro, how do we on the same wavelength? Sakamoto's got questions. Shit, Kashima's got questions too, right? I'm still not convinced those are the only personalities in there. Lastly, I really wanted someone to mush Kanaguri's face. The fuck are you still doing here, you anti-villain ass villain? Why are you still alive? Whose side are you on? God, he was super annoying
on the
in this
film
chapter.
side.
He was super annoying. He's like, the gods of film, the gods of movies are looking upon me right now. I was like, somebody just snuff him out. Sakamoto's apron remains undefeated. Like, even it's the fact that he had the confidence to just have the apron and hold it out like it's a towel. You know what I'm saying? Like just snuff out this bomb. He doesn't have any additional protective gear. Like, what is that thing made of? It must be the same thing the John Wick suits are made out of. Anyway, basically. Shit. Now that I think about it too, right? What personality was it that stabbed Sakamoto when they met at the end of the JAA arc? When Gaku and Slur showed up, did work, Sakamoto confronts Slur. He's like, you here to kill me again? Right? And remember how he stabbed him through the apron and was gone. That was the first time we had seen Sakamoto take that type of major L. Was that Slur or was that Leon? Questions. Fucking fantastic chapter, though. I'm gonna pass the mic over to Bryce. We haven't heard you yet, Playboy. Let's go.
We passing it to me? Okay. Yeah. Well,
am I gonna regret this?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm chilling. The only thing I can say is, holy shit. It was a good ass chapter. I just want to acknowledge that Kashima, just based off of a lot of things we've seen in this series, I can't really be mad at him at this point. Like he tired. I'm 100% sure that him becoming an android was not his choice at this point in time. Not one time.
I can see that.
He was supposed to be this badass one right hand man type of motherfucker, and he been here for 4 chapters, and he been getting bitched out this entire time. So let's just put that into the air. He just lost his arm because of one chick. He got choked out by another with magna powers. He didn't even know she was part of the whole situation. And now he
Young face mask took that arm off, dude.
3 chicks to put him. Bruh, he got his ass whooped by Rio.
Yeah.
Bro.
To be fair, Rio whoop everybody ass, though.
Right.
Yes, that's true. That is true.
But to have her be in the body of the boss you idolize, that's got to be a deep cut for him.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? See, I caught myself. I could have said so, but I didn't. I caught it. I caught myself. It's a good show. Kanaguri's still gonna be in. He just want to see some crazy shit. That's really what it is. You need them crazy ass, super neutral motherfuckers that just want to see some wild shit happen. They keep the they keep the story going. If some bullshit can be solved pretty easily, guess who's there to make sure the bullshit keep going? People like Kanaguri. They need it. They essentials. I'm pretty sure they'll make TJ's pet peeve list. But they ain't my essentials in mine. I need a crazy dude in my mom. I need that. I hope Kashima, what's his name?
Kashima
Kashima, I hope he makes a good chia pet because he's still alive. You know, put some seeds on him, give him a little pot.
Seeds on him.
Just make him have a good rest of his life because he just been through some shit. You know, put him in the shop. Put him in the shop, and have
he
him,
could be the new cash register, low key.
He could be the new cash register. He can entertain little dogs that come into the store.
It is also par for the course that niggas that try to kill them end up rocking with them.
Oh yeah. So you know, they got some furniture. So
wow. You guys really think Sheen? First of all, that was a wild ass thing to say, Bryce. But you guys really think Sheen would be cool with him joining the crew after everything he's done to Sheen?
Sheen ain't been cool with no niggas joining the crew, but he ain't the boss.
I still think he might be the main character, though.
Yeah, I think so. I did like that scene that Sheen was trying to read Rion's mind, and she's like, "Oh, you want me to cut off your imaginary hand again, motherfucker? You want to do that?"
Like, damn, bitch, that was you. It was.
Yeah, you better sit back. So that was a really cool scene. TJ, you touched it all, man. This was just a good ass chapter. Sakamoto Days ain't missed once. It can't miss. I'm gonna pass it on to Matt.
One, where's TJ's anime announcement? Two, I know we've this is another one we always say all the time. I just got to bring it back to the game. Let's never forget. Let's never forget to give Sakamoto his proper go status because he did all this shit in the slides with socks.
Yeah,
he's in slides this whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good call out.
Also, I thought it was cool when the bombs came out of Bro back and seeing both of them jump into action to protect their, progeny as they were.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool moment. And then, y'all favorite character kind of Guri being like, the next one's in Japan, guys.
Y'all favorite character? Hey, relax. Relax.
Wow, he right about mine. He's in my group. He's in my 5. He in my top
5. Next one's in Japan. I still got Thailand questions, but is that everything you have, Matt?
I don't see why we don't put a cash register in Kanaguri's chest. Like, I just don't. I don't see.
You know what I'm saying?
Like,
he can greet people and shit. That's a
bro. His Sakamoto wife could get a day off. Somebody else could watch the shop, bro. First of all, let's also not forget. Even niggas that have not tried to kill them have had to work there. Nagumo was had to do a shift. Like, I think they should just take Kanaguri with him, and he could just be like, he can be like early Vegeta on the team. Like, I don't really fuck with y'all niggas. I mean, I fuck with y'all, but I don't for real.
Who gonna rob that store? They got a talking cash register. They go spot you every time.
I will get this nigga his credit though. That bro got his arm cut off and was like, damn, but the blicky was the other arm. And I was like, I said, boy, y'all in trouble. And they was like, not really. Also, I just feel bad for him because he was in that scenario, and this is the last time I'm gonna say for dude, but in that scenario, it's Kashimo, right?
Yeah.
He was a man with no country in that moment. Like, it wasn't no niggas riding for him, bro. He was by himself.
Yeah.
One question though, where the fuck was Gaku?
I think
did he leave?
He might be in another part of the complex, right? Because remember when Shin's Sakamoto
he sleeping shit the whole time,
and Amane were like out here like, hey, avoid his ass. They I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's asleep.
And he's like, man, y'all got that shit. I ain't getting it. You got kind of blurry, freaky ass over there with the fucking camera. I'm good.
Yeah, man, that's pretty much my thoughts. What's the next one we got up, TJ?
Kaiju number 8. Professor.
Wait,
Coachman.
Who does Kaiju?
I think it's because we don't have Chainsaw. We don't have Chainsaw this week.
Yeah, it's me today. Kaiju number 8.
I don't like the tone you put on that. It's me today, but go on.
It's a good one for him. Trust me.
I've been chilling, y'all. Come on.
This good. We about to get a good Bryce on this one.
Yeah, exactly.
This
was very, good chapter. Kaiju number 8's been killing it with this arc. Of course, it is. We are continuing with chapter 91. We're continuing the fight between Soshiro and Kaiju number 12, I believe. 12. So continuing on, we get like a little flashback. This is definitely like a you know, when you get a flashback, either somebody gonna die or somebody's gonna come up. So
right.
We continue with Soshiro getting his ass handed to him by his older brother. We kind of get like a little bit idea of how their relationship works. Clearly, the older brother was a genius. Soshiro, say what?
No, go ahead.
Yeah, Soshiro just couldn't keep up with him, and that kind of built the fire under Soshiro. Soshiro gets hit with the blade by Kaiju number 12 and makes the motherfucker pretty much get stunned for a little bit. The Kaiju comes in for the finishing blow, and then we get further into a flashback. Soshiro thinks he's dead. He's dead. He loses the arm. He just kind of starts thinking back about his brother just not being able to beat the Kaiju when motherfuckers telling him, yo, like, you're not gonna make it, bro. Which makes him, get the character we have where he trains his ass off. But then he wakes up to find out that his suit number 10 blocked the blade from Kaiju number 12 using the tail, which is sad. I hope they can rebuild the tail. I'd be mad as hell if the tail is gone, because that was cold.
Bryce likes tails.
Tails are always that's a dope ass power. If I could have a power, I would just want a tail. Give me a raw ass tail.
You don't mean that, Bryce. You don't want to be the squirrel nigga from My Hero. You don't mean that.
Squirrel.
I will be squirrel nigga happily. Just give me.
You don't mean that, Bryce. I just know you don't.
I will tail whip the fuck out of somebody and be happy. have some weird ass name for tail attacks and shit, man. I'd be a problem. Anyway, so yeah, Soshiro's kind of in his head about it, and Kaiju number 10 gives him a pep talk, which is hilarious. This is just like the buddy group of this is like the best team up of all time to me. Like, I love this. Soshiro's kind of down on himself, and Kaiju number 10 is like, man, look, you can't be in your head about all this shit, bro. All right, I got my hands, you got your blades. We just gonna have to make this shit work, bro, and we just gotta have fun with it. Do or die. And Soshiro kind of gets behind him. So, I think TJ might be right. We might get we gonna get a power up, but the type of power up we gonna see is gonna be interesting. Is it just gonna be some like, okay, we just gonna work together and do like a new combination move, or is it gonna unlock something, or maybe like a more of the percentage? I can't remember on the top of my head how much percentage Soshiro can get with the suit at this point.
I think he was topping at like 88% or something like that.
88.
80. Yeah, he was in the 80s for sure.
Yeah, so maybe he might reach 100%. Ain't nothing better than a pep talk from your Kaiju bestie to kind of get y'all really on the same map. Hell, maybe the tail might turn into a sword. That might be crazy. But
actually, that would be crazy.
That would be
not mad at that.
That would be insane. I would love that. Yeah, this was a great chapter. So next chapter is gonna be fun. It's probably gonna be in like 2 weeks, but all right. But yeah, I'm a pass this on to TJ. What you think, man?
I thought it was an excellent chapter. I really thought Hoshino was gone, especially when we got the flashback of him and Soichiro. Like you said, right? It's usually never a great sign, or it could be a sign of a come up, like you said as well. But I was like, oh, this could be it. They had me in the first half, but I legit thought, especially with when he was blacked out again, I didn't pay attention to the black ink in the background. I was just like, oh shit, Soshiro really turned into Anakin Skywalker out here, right? Basically any Skywalker male out here, right? And then his upper torso got cut into a chunk, right? To be fair, I should have paid attention to the background, known it was black, then I could have been like, all right, this is either a flashback or a fantasy sequence. I really like how Matsumoto uses the image of the stacked up stones to show the state of Hoshina's mind at any given moment. I feel like that was also used in the last chapter as well. This chapter, to me, gave me Naruto and Kurama energy. When they finally became homies and they were using the Fizz Bump to exchange chakra, That's what this reminded me of. Like, I think this may sound weird, but that scene where Ten was giving Hoshina the pep talk was very wholesome to me. It felt like a father-son moment. Okay, Hoshina, things didn't go our way in the first round, right? But you're still in it. Go out there and have some fun, son. That's what I thought, and I really enjoyed that vibe. Because even then, the last page is not adult Hoshina, it's him as a kid with full-grown Kaiju 10, and it really looked like a father-son-ish, father-son Kamehameha, however you want to put it, type vibe to me. But again, like Bryce alluded to, and I'm gonna echo it, I think something crazy is about to get unlocked. Now, hear me out, especially with the fantasy sequence. Part of me wishes that Hoshina lost that arm, like he went full Skywalker male, and then somehow
got a kaiju arm.
Bro, you are stop reading my fucking mind. Right? Like he got
We're not homies on accident.
Like he got reverse kaijuified, and then like you just see the cells merge and he just grows his arm back, but it's a little different, right? Like I was like low-key kind of hoping for something like that. Like even when his torso got chopped in half, like it just reconnects or something to show that mate, because this was something we had talked about, right? Wait, what'd you say, Ben? Like, but it's something that Matt and I had theorized about earlier in the podcast. Like, is it possible to someone to get kaiju-fied from a suit? Because I mean, it's still the kaiju, just in suit form, and you're interacting with it at like somewhat of a molecular level to a certain degree, right? So is that a possibility? But that was just a digression. 2 weeks is too long of a wait. I'm gonna need that next chapter pronto. I know that's me speaking in vain, but I gotta say it. I still need a slight update without a complete zone hop on some of the other players on the field, namely Kafka, Leno. But to Matsumoto's credit, there's no zone hop around here without concluding the current mini arc or battle, if you will. So I really enjoyed this chapter. I'm gonna pass it over to Matt.
First thought, before I even forget it, I have a theory that because they've what's the term? I guess you could say they drift compatibility or whatever the hell.
I like that. Yeah.
The percentage of output that he could get out of the suit was at 89, and they were saying like if he does it too long, if he doesn't stop, basically he's gonna fucking die or seizure or whatever the hell they were saying, right? But I wonder if when Hoshina was deep in thought like that, if 10 was in there with him, like if 10 was able to witness that or at least see it, because they're bonded. Now I don't know to what level, like if he's in his brain, but it kind of gave me the feeling of like when he snapped him out of it, like, hey, stop going through that dark place, motherfucker. We in a fight. We ain't got time for that. Be like, now I know that you're a real nigga. I know what you're working against. Come on. Wake the fuck up.
Right.
I also like that in the fact that this is like in this situation with it being a fight, right? Like it's continuing to bond the two of them because they're bonded through the fact that they like combat.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. This fucking kaiju folded for being turned into a suit because he knew he was going to get more action.
Yeah.
This is indiscriminate
Insane.
Violence.
Yeah.
Indiscriminate. Can I still be violent? Yeah. Turn me into a suit. Fuck it.
All right, let's do
it. Yeah, I'm in. That panel at the end, best panel. Sure, we're gonna see somebody probably get this tatted on them. Like Child Hoshina, and I'm gonna call it Child Kaiju 10 because he ain't been nothing else. It's not like fucking Kaiju 10 wasn't a baby before. He just a fucking kaiju. Now he this suit. So seeing them kind of, that was their drift compatible moment pretty much at the end. It was like let's have ourselves some fun. Also fully the callback
in sync. Yeah.
Right. They fully in sync. I think his percentage is about to go to 100, and we're gonna see.
Yeah.
We're gonna see what happens when you go full 100% with the suit. I think he's gonna be the person to break that number, even over Kikaru. Yeah, I think that was her name. Am I tweaking?
No, you are not tweaking.
Damn, look at me getting better with the names. I am very curious to when we're going to jump back, because they're going to have to show us Hoshina's brother again. We know he. First of all, he's out there. He's on the field. He's on the field right now.
We seen him. He's a captain. We seen him.
Yeah, he's a captain, and he's currently on the field. We saw him before this battle broke out.
Right.
Because he's running one of the other zones.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, how's he doing? Is he just thriving? You know what I'm saying? Is he about to show up and help little brother?
Sharpen my blade.
All the Kaiju in his area been dead.
Well, no, fuck his blade. He literally, remember Hoshina said, my brother would have just started popping them things.
Yeah, he's slick with the straps.
He said, he nice with the sword and he nice with the pistol. Anything we go through, all my gangsters around and my whole crew, nigga, what? Popping them thing. Like, if you can finna let it off on the Kaijus, go ahead and do your thing. That's pretty much how I feel like dude doing. So I was really happy with this chapter, but when the chapter was over, I got really fucking mad because I remembered a few months ago them niggas dropped that trailer talking about next year.
Oh shit, my bad. I didn't mean to bring that back again. Pissed.
No, it's all good.
Who was that?
Was just like
who was that? That wasn't you.
It was just like one of them situations where you see that shit and it's like when I saw that last panel, I was like, fuck, I want to see that animated. And then that was that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. This is great. So I'm gonna pass it. I don't even know what's next. I'm just fuck.
I got you.
We was blessed.
I got you. Jujutsu Kaisen, Gege Akutami, 231, Inhuman Makio, Shinjuku Shoujo Part 9. Where did we leave off? They both just had strokes, can't use their domains in round 2. Summary, round 2, bitches. How would I review it? Is it me, or is it a crazy thought for Mahoraga, the ultimate Shikigami, to be able to adapt to the concept of infinity?
It's crazy. You're not dripping. You're not wrong at all. I thought the same thing. I was like,
it makes
how?
My brain itch. You can adapt to infinity and defeat infinity. Okay, but this is the battle where it shows like impossible is nothing, right? Whose motto was that? Was that Adidas?
Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. It was Adidas. It was Adidas.
Like
that's Nike.
That's why that wheel is working so hard. Like that's got to be why that wheel is working so hard, bro. Because it's like, man, you want me to adapt to infinity, huh? All right. Like, Kenji and Yuta both being like, yeah. We got hit by him. I barfed. Like it was funny to me.
The shame.
The fact that, but it's them feeling ashamed is like, oh, they thought they had a chance, probably. Like,
it's like, who raise your hand if you have personally been victimized by Gojo?
Raise your hand if you've been witness to those hands.
Miguel somewhere crying.
His chest. He just touches his chest like he's Harry Potter. Like, my scar.
Every time Gojo crack his knuckles, Miguel flinches. He's like, no matter where he is in the world.
Different fucking content. He's like, I thought old boy in the suit and Nanami in the flashback just like leave me the fuck alone when it comes to Gojo because I don't know what the fuck's going on. And me crying. I really enjoyed this chapter because it was the first chapter in a very long time where I didn't have to reread it so many times just to make sure. So, okay, do I have the rule set? Right. Okay, let me just take this variable into consideration. Okay, let me go back 53 chapters, double check my math here. Okay, the math seems to be mathing. No, this is just like straight hands with some commentary. And I feel like we haven't gotten a straight hands with some light commentary chapter in a while because this is just Gojo being like, all right, man, I'm gonna just do me. I still got my fist. Let's get it going. Let's not use any curse energy because we don't need Mahoraga to adapt to that shit. No domain rule sets.
Mahoraga apparently cannot adapt to hands.
Because every time he uses hands, the wheel was changing colors, right? And every time Sukuna was trying to use any type of curse energy, the wheels were like, I can't do that, Playboy. If you want us to process this infinity, you need to chill. But that being said, we're still racing against the clock, right? He's got about 3 turns of that wheel left before that Shikigami comes out and ruins humanity's day. Shout out to Kage Bunshi no Jutsu. Didn't know Gojo could do that, but at this point, I shouldn't even be questioning what he can and can't do. Kashimo said at the last panel, forget Megumi, let them cook, which was hilarious. Great chapter. I didn't expect that funny of an ending to it, if I'm being honest, because that was like, hey, you think he remembers that Megumi's in there. It's like probably Kashimo's like, nah, he can forget, man. Let him cook.
It was like, hey, fuck Sukuna, bro.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, all right.
Right.
It's my bad. Okay.
Hey, this is centuries long beef, right?
I get it.
But let me pass the mic over, Matt, if you will.
My simple review of this chapter was hands. Now Bryce already is very familiar with this term, but it's not even term, but this saying. This is a saying my brother and I came up on. It always comes back to the hands. We got that from when we could do a martial arts and shit, because that you tired, you ain't throwing kicks and shit, you just gonna go ahead and let them hands fly. And when the chips was down, Gojo was like, well, I got this. I got Old Faithful. He got 8 knuckles for niggas, and he definitely was putting them on Sukuna. Sukuna obviously was the king of curses, but he is not the king of hands, because he was in there getting fucking touched. That motherfucker was putting hands and feet on him, putting hands on that motherfucker like TD Jakes Smith. But this dude was in here. I know I done ran that one back, but it's my term. It's my phrase. That's what he did to this man. Like, Miguel was somewhere like, yeah, but why you ain't doing them like you did me?
That's so unnecessary,
bro. He's dragging like you. Let me tell you something. My favorite shit in any of these anime series of shit is when a nigga gets to running and dragging a motherfucker through the wall. That's some Broly shit.
That's I was just a Broly. Every incarnation of Broly does that in some way, shape, or form.
Any berserker type of move like that, you the one. You got me. Also, what's our man's name that does all the bets? What's his name?
Kenji.
Definitely never noticed until now. This nigga got cuts in his eyebrows.
I thought it was stylized. I didn't know it was like actual scars, but yeah.
No. I'm saying like stylized, like he did it himself. Like he has cuts in his eyebrows. I haven't seen that shit in years. That's hilarious to me. The fact that they mentioned, they was like, yeah, Gojo and Sukuna just have done away with the idea of what's impossible. They just like, oh, that's not possible for you. Like, whatever was like the rules, these niggas clearly don't. Yeah. They got the Game Shark on the system. They are not doing nothing that we know about.
You know what? Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
But I was thinking about this as I was reading it earlier, and I forgot to put this in my notes, but it makes me think about how when you talk about Frieza, you're saying like this is a dude who already had a leg up on everybody, and now he's training. That's what Gojo is, but he's on the side of good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he was literally born with the 6 eyes, and just his birth alone changed the whole vibe. Like,
yeah, you know, they literally said the world shifted when he was born.
Yeah, that's insane.
Now, the next thing I got is more of a question, and because TJ, you really are the one that's the most, like, you're the most on the ground. Your feet are the most on the ground with Jujutsu Kaisen out of the 3 of us. Hey, I'm just saying, you got the most. You more than us, more than me and Bryce for sure. So it just explained this to me because I was a little confused. Where is Maharaga? Does he have to come back out after the wheel turns? Because I was like, he was there, then he's gone, and now it's just the wheel.
So remember how
I was confused.
Megumi could do this with his Shikigamis? He could bury them back in the shadows. With so it's like you have to think of like the shadows is almost being like a pocket dimension, and he can call and basically summon and withdraw them into those shadows. So I think Maharaga doesn't have to be summoned again. I think Maharaga is just hiding in that little shadow dimension. Like, remember
I don't need that shit ruining my day. Get this, Megumi jump on a fucking shadow like it's ninja, like fucking Ninja Warrior. Hell no.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, remember how Megumi himself could like travel through shadows?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, but he just stores his Shikigamis there. Like when he was battling Registar, and he was able to like just pull the elephant Shikigami out of the shadows, or he made himself weigh a ton.
Niggas coming out the shadows like ninja assassin.
Like basically Maharaga's in there.
Okay.
He's not gonna have to summon it again. He's just gonna be like, all right, let me just pull out the monster. Pause. Okay. Is that pause? But no.
Bad pause. That's crazy.
Hey yo,
that's crazy.
But yeah, that's where Mahoraga is, I believe.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm making that suggestion or using that answer is because the wheel is still there. I feel like if Mahoraga was completely gone, the wheel wouldn't be there anymore.
Right.
And then I feel like Mahoraga can't be like a conventionally unsummoned, right? It's got to be defeated, or it's just got to be like, all right, I killed you enough. I'm out. Because that's the one Shikigami that cannot be tamed, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or so we think. I'm gonna keep sticking with the fact that
I agree with you.
I stick with y'all on that. I think Sukuna's already proven he's on some other shit.
Yeah.
All of his versions of all of Megumi shit is not how Megumi shit was looking when he was calling it.
I agree with you 100%.
I think he got that. So but that's what my thoughts are.
He pulls out Mahoraga and just daps him up.
All right, Mahoraga, like, is it my turn yet? Like, nigga, we not doing this. We're not doing this. They drift compatible.
That's hilarious.
So we gonna see what's what. But that I don't have any other thoughts on that. I just was curious about that because I was definitely confused. I was like, wait a minute, where did Mahoraga go? Because I was like, I thought Gojo was about to be in a situation where he was fighting Sukuna and Mahoraga at the same time. And those were like, one, you gonna die. But two, if you don't die, you really the GOAT.
Dude, you are him. Timothy.
Man. Tell me. What we got up next?
Wait, Bryce, did you give your thoughts?
My bad.
Just to add on to that, I think the thing with Maharaja is Sukuna doesn't want Mahoraga to, because he can't really control it yet. He don't want it out because it's gonna fight anybody, and he doesn't want Maharaja to get accustomed to Sukuna. He doesn't want Maharaja to get accustomed to Sukuna himself, even though he can bring it back and forth. If he fights it, Maharaja is gonna get accustomed to Sukuna, and then Maharaja can fuck him up too. So I think he's just waiting for it to get accustomed to Gojo and then bring it out to fuck him up and then put it right back in.
That's a crazy ass thought, and I kind of like it, but it also makes me think, yo, is there a outcome where there's just nobody left and Maharaga's just out here running the asylum?
Maharaga just running in circles looking for anything, finds this mirror, punches it, like, oh, who was dude?
That's why motherfuckers, that's why they don't bring that motherfucker out.
Why? But like, why would you create this? Because we could. Because we could.
Because somebody had to stop these niggas. Let's get into the origin of how did we even fucking get Maharaga? That's what the fuck we need.
Right. Like some type of zany mad scientist. Ooh, okay. Wait, Bryce, are you do you have anything else you want to say?
Oh, that's it.
Okay. Do you think Toji could stop or destroy Mahoraga?
Fam, I'm gonna be
Toji's different.
I'm gonna be fucking real with you. I think this whole series doesn't exist anymore. I would be like, look,
wait, what?
Fuck Gojo. No, I'm serious. I'd be like, fuck Gojo, fuck Sukuna. Let's figure out a way to bring Toji back to life and let him do it. Because
you said and let him do it.
Me personally, that nigga is a fix all. Every time this nigga was on, it was in.
He said this nigga duct tape.
This nigga is duct tape. This nigga is gorilla glue. Every time this motherfucker showed up, he did what he had to do, and he was gone. The only time he fucked up was like, yeah, I'm gonna try to kill this nigga. I'm gonna try to kill Gojo. I'm gonna just try to kill him. It fucked him up. He let his pride get in the way, but the job was done.
Not wrong.
Hey, Bryce's logic cannot be argued. He's actually not wrong.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not seeing any holes. He's not wrong. It's still a wild take somehow, but it's sound.
Nigga broke out of the spell that brought him back to life. Went on
That's true.
Saw his kid saw his child. He said, "Wait a minute, nigga, what's your last name?" For she go,
he said, "Damn, that's crazy. Let me go ahead and die right quick.
Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here before I take my own kid out."
Wait. What's wild is like he didn't recognize his son.
Like, he said, "That nigga kind of look like me. Who's
your last name?"
What's she going? Ooh, let me get out. Ooh.
Is that a boo?
Ooh, I'm out. That's all they got to do. But they don't want to deal with him. They don't want to deal with Toji. Can you imagine Maki and Toji together?
I feel like he'd probably like try to throw hands with Maki.
Toji is the human Maharaka.
Yeah.
He's just a nigga looking for smoke. That's all he is. You remember Kings of Comedy when they was just like, if it was a nigga playing hockey, he'd just be out there skating with no stick. That's Toji.
Bro, I'm putting look, I'm bringing that nigga back to life and I'm locking him in a room. Like, look, here's everything you need to know about Gojo. Here's everything you need to know about Sakura. We need him dead in like 5 days. Good luck.
Told you we can reach in that tapeworm and beat your ass. He gonna get something.
He can beat my ass. Just beat their ass too. If I gotta go, I gotta go. But nigga, take them out too.
I don't. It's like, what's that dude in Star Wars? I don't care about winning. I just don't want them to win.
Yeah, I don't care if I don't care if I win. I just don't want them to. Like, damn.
What did dude ask Kie about the Black Dragon? What is this gonna do?
Hey, that nigga said he said even I don't know what's gonna happen. He's like, why are you summoning this? Why are you doing this?
Why not?
Shit.
Man, why? Even I don't know what's gonna happen.
That's how I feel. Toji handles all this shit.
Man, I'm legit crying.
You're right, Bryce. Toji might be the guy. That might be the answer.
It shouldn't even be called Jujutsu Kaisen. It should be called Toji Ain't Here.
Toji ain't here.
Toji ain't here.
They had to write him off early.
They had to.
This would be a problem.
It's a Madara situation.
Throw the whole scale out of whack.
It's a Madara situation, fam. Shit, man. I got this. He too raw. I gotta kill him all. I gotta find some way.
They need raw. Toji Rama in this motherfucker.
Imagine like Tommy was trying to like erase a picture of Toji and Toji's trying to stop the pencil.
He erasing it and he can't move the pencil no more on the paper. Like what the fuck?
What the fuck is happening right now?
You can stop right there.
You stop right there.
Matter of fact, since you want to use your pencil so bad, you can make this into a nice little beach.
You imagine erasing anything and that should be like, you could stop right there. Like, okay.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The house is yours. I'm out. Leave it. I'm leaving.
Damn, Bryce, you was right. Niggas said, why don't y'all just get Toji? Like, he right. What was that shit from Falcon Winter Soldier? He's like, hold on. He right.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Yeah, he out of line, but he's right. That's you with that tape, Bryce. You was out of line, but you was not wrong. Especially after we just seen him in anime too. Come on, wait. First of all, I ain't never seen a nigga wear an Under Armour shirt with the parachute pants with the toms.
Crazy.
It's a little trippy. It's a little trippy. Not gonna hold you. It's a little trippy.
And I thought they were slides at first.
No, that'd just be disrespectful.
I mean, think of who we talking about.
Right.
He is disrespectful incarnate.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, guys. We got one more.
Time to go to this low point.
Damn.
I'm trust me, I'm not even finna take us through no you'll see. So
I don't like that.
We got My Hero Academia chapter 396, Battle Without a Quirk.
This man said you'll see. Oh, go ahead.
So we got Battle Without a Quirk. We start out with All Might standing there, and All Might's having his memories of when Dr. Night Owl was telling him like what it was finna be like, bro, you gonna die a fucked up death. Like, you gotta let this shit go. And he like, I love the game too much. I can't. And he basically pulls his Iron Man from the TV show suit out, which is his car. His car that he had apparently been driving around in has been a suit for him to be able to fight in at any given time. Not only that, which I thought was super fucking dope, the suit and the car operate as all of the other powers from One for All. Mm-hmm. So he had a little black whip in there, had a little bit of some of the other users' powers, just kind of not necessarily direct. You get what I'm saying, but more or less in the sense of a mimic or a version of it. I'm also not gonna hold you. If I had never seen My Hero before and I saw this Armored All Might, definitely would have thought this was the villain. Would not have thought that the nigga flying to him was the bad guy. Mm-hmm. This shit, I'm not gonna hold you. This shit looks fucking scary. It looks scary to me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm pussy. I don't know. But he's wilding for this fit. At any rate, he starts getting in all for one's ass. I ain't gonna hold you. He really started giving my man's a colonic with his fit. With that new suit. And hey, I'm just calling it what it is. Bro talking about shoe style smash. First of all, we've seen All Might fight. I ain't never seen him really get active on a nigga like this before. He really was he literally put hands and feet on this man. Like, I was like, damn, nigga, is this how you lost your face? Like, are you getting flashbacks right now? You lost your face. Hey, I'm just saying. I've only ever seen one other nigga punch somebody face off, and that was Spawn. So, and if you know, you know.
Right.
But nah, bro, this shit was nuts. Like, it was in terms of what we've been wanting to see, especially with this moment. It was crazy. He had his camera rolling so they could, so he could make the calls and stuff that he needed so they would be watching him. I love that Shorty was like, All Might fighting All for One. Morpheus fighting Neo, going live. Now she did not waste no time. Like, no, we going live on this right now. Like, y'all know what type of numbers this shit finna do? I thought that was cool. In general, I thought this was a good chapter. But now we got to bring it back to reality, right? Mm-hmm. Despite this chapter being good, I think I'm done. I think at this point, I'm only reading it because we have to cover it for the show, and because a manga I want to replace it with has not made it past the trial period where I feel like we should bring it yet. And that was something we talked about within our chat outside of the show. TJ was the one that brought me to the light. It was like, remember the ones we lost, and I was like, he right. So at this point, I'm just kind of ready to replace it. We also talked outside of the off the show, but in the chat about arcs and stuff, and there were a lot of good arcs that My Hero has had, and arcs that I felt like they really handled successfully. So it's really kind of like, it's frustrating to read this shit, and like it's frustrating to read it and see like where it was and see how like the storytelling had been consistent, things were going good, or like it at least was going in a direction, right? And I understand that this is supposed to be like chaos time and shit like that, but like all right, prime example, right? The very beginning, did anybody pay attention to the fact that they said this was 20 minutes before the Toga Twice army faded away? This took place before the whole last 3 chapters we read.
Hell no, I ain't pay attention to that shit.
Yeah, I read it. But it didn't register for me.
But do you see the problem?
Yeah, the mismanagement.
Like it's not only zone hopping. Now we're zone hopping through time periods of as well as what's happening. Right. Like they could have said while that was happening. They said 20 minutes before.
Man, this is a great segue into the topic of the week.
Yeah, it is definitely going to be one of my things on the topic of the week for sure. But it's like this was 20 minutes before. With again, like now he's starting to give us shit that like matters, but it's too much. It's too much zone hopping, because I promise you we're gonna probably jump to some different shit next week. 100%. We probably won't even see the continuation of this fight.
100%.
And think about how many chapters we had to wait before we saw this one when they teased it. Right. Like, you can't tease something and then not pay it off. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can. Tons of motherfuckers do it. but like it's just frustrating. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna give my hero his flowers for sure, but I'm not giving it flowers in celebration. This is a funeral. My hero is dead to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this was cool, but it's like I just at this point I just don't care. Like I legitimately I'm just like, oh, yeah, sure, I guess I'll read this, and like I'm still following it. I still understand, but I almost just want to like I almost want to do it like I did Fire Force, where I just like I checked out for like a month and then just came back once it was finally finished, read it so I could at least be like, all right, this was what happened. Because having to deal with that type of shit on a week-to-week basis, especially when Jujutsu Kaisen, Sakamoto Days, Kaiju, like shit, I'd rather wait the 2 weeks for my hero if I knew it was going to give me more consistent storytelling. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like amidst the roster of things that we're reading together, and I'm not even finna talk about the shit that we not reading together. Like this ain't sticking to my ribs. Like it's not even that it's just not sticking to my ribs. The storytelling is just bad. It's just bad. Action can be cool. Action sequences can be cool and all that shit, but it's bad. And you trying to do payoffs for shit that you didn't even do a proper setup for in other situations too. Like, there's so many other things that have happened and so many things they did that led up to this. Like, all the lead up to this moment was cool. Like, Dark Deku and shit. Like, the fucking long Halloween Deku trying to save everybody at the same time and all that. Like, all of that was cool. Like, his homies pulling together and be like, bro, you need to sit your ass down. Like, all of that was good. And then it gave us this. It's like you gave us all these stakes, and I it's crazy to me that I, as a reader, have been put in a situation where we have all these stakes that I was so excited for, and now I just don't care. You know, like I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at with it. I'm gonna pass it to TJ because I want to save Bryce's for the end. Right, I think Bryce's is going to be the best to transition us into our topic of the week if I know Bryce. So I'm gonna just no. There's no offense to you, Bryce. I know how you feeling, so I would like to pass it to TJ first.
Man, maybe we should have talked about our favorite chapter this week before we got to My Hero, because this is going to be the perfect segue into the topic of the week. But it looks like this is where we're going to lose All Might, theoretically. Now, don't get me wrong, Iron Might looks cool and all, and I want to say
Iron Might.
The suit gave me Dark Deku vibes. It felt like an emulation of Dark Deku because I was like, oh, they're just doing an All Might suit, but it wasn't really All Might aesthetic, because even the way the All Might hair that they tried to replicate looked way closer to Dark Deku than it did anything else. But let's be fucking for real. Just stopping one of Young for One's ki blast through brought the suit integrity down by 66%. He's here for a good time, not a long time.
Young for One.
You know, Jesus. I mean, he might slow him down, he might take him out, but I feel weird saying this. This will hit harder if this is the route we're going down, and it looks like this is going to go past 400 chapters at this point. I think it hits harder if at the end of this sub arc, it's a one-way ticket for All Might. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, can I just interject real quick?
Go ahead.
I think it's fucking crazy that All Might is probably getting ready to die, right? Which they've been teasing All Might was going to die from the very beginning. And
like a candle in the wind, bro.
Listen, man. We didn't have, what's my nigga name? Endeavor. I'll just use him. It's crazy we didn't get to this point that niggas like Endeavor then had to face the music. They didn't have their retribution, had their art to change as a person. We didn't seen Bakugo do it 2 or 3 times. We didn't seen all this development, all this art, all these people that had to pay the price, pay the piper or whatever, or people that at least had consequence for their action and seeing them get their retribution and shit. We done seen Endeavor damn near die fucking 3 times at this point. All Might's definitely gonna die, and fucking Belly Laser is somewhere on the field right now, living. Bakugo has almost died.
Is he gonna go toward Belly Laser? Yeah.
Oh yeah. That doesn't even make the whole a nigga who put y'all in the most fucked up situation. He has cost people lives, bro.
I don't disagree with you, man.
Oh, we don't know how much more of One for All Might could have been using if he didn't have to fight that strong ass Nomu at their school that time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's no way to know. Other things could have happened, but it's like you really have, when you really trace all that shit back, and that's just another thing that's a problem. We haven't even seen that motherfucker since this has started.
No, we saw him in that Forest of Death with the tooth dude.
I'm talking about one shit that got cracking.
Yeah.
Once the war for real broke out, he was just like, hey, I tricked you. And then it's like wartime. Nah.
Right.
Nah. I don't know, man. Even if they be like, oh, he got or whatever. I don't know. These niggas just can't do right by me at this point. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's cool. I agree with everything you said. As much as I'm annoyed with My Hero, we can never fault the artwork. It's crisp artwork.
I ain't gonna play him on that.
Also, anyone who can draw tiny little details in tech, hardware, armor, like circuits and shit, you will always have my instant respect. I tried doing that shit as a kid and as an adult. It's not for me. I don't have the patience. Currently working on some renovations on this house. I found out that I don't have the patience for painting. But like, yeah, you have my respect. That being said, let's wrap this shit up. I'm kind of over it. And the only reason why Matt's like Matt said that we didn't replace this already is because we need to know that a manga is going to hit a certain threshold of chapters before we can add it in. We got burned at least twice. But with that, I'm gonna pass it over to Bryce.
I'm gonna keep it simple. This chapter was mid. My hero is pretty lame to me. And if this was a funeral for my hero, I'd drop a Duke on the casket.
Whoa.
So, what's everyone's favorite manga this week?
Okay. I don't know if you heard
Matt,
my reviews going earlier. I'm just going Hajime no Ippo.
Okay.
That's the second time Bryce has ever done something like that on the show where he just dismissed my hero and went straight to the next topic. It's always funny.
Keep it in the butt.
Jujutsu and Sakamoto for me. Bryce?
I have to say it's between Sakamoto Days and Dan to Dan. You know, there's
yeah, Dan. Yeah.
Something about seeing a real nigga hero in action. Just
Is this the same controversial hero as last time?
I've accepted it.
Oh, word?
Yeah. I accepted it. I'm not gonna fight him on this no more. He got it.
Like you saw it in this chapter. I'm really happy. I'm really happy to hear it.
This is another situation where it was like Bryce is out of line, but he's right. Right? I saw the light and I was like, this is bullshit, but I get it. I totally get where he's coming from.
Say that wonderful. Okay, now we got to the good. Let's get to the bad. Let's talk about our top 5 mangaka. That's an interesting.
Finish your thought, Bryce.
Yeah. Top 5 anime mangaka pet peeves. Who wants to start it off?
I guess I will. TJ, did you want to start it?
Oh no, you guys go first. I kind of want to hear what everyone's pet peeves are, and mine is definitely not 5.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I guess it's all on me now. I'm gonna come out the gate the first one. Zone hopping. I ain't never liked that shit. I've never liked it. I don't like zone hopping because 90% of the time it's not done correctly. And what I mean by that is like you can't give me a little bit here and then jump over. It's like you can't keep getting me to that point of like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? Well, I guess you ain't gonna know because we going to these niggas now. No, I hate that. Like, I don't know, man. It drives me nuts, man. I'm not a fan of when zone hopping is done, especially when it's done poorly. And just in general, like I can think of a lot of different manga I've read. Like I didn't like it, I just need a continuous story. Like I don't want to see it jump from this to this. And if it does, there's ways to do it where it can come back, like down the middle and it'll make sense. Like if we're jumping from this zone to the next zone, so both zones can meet in the middle, fine. And it's like in certain instances, obviously I'm going to use My Hero as an example. They would do that and then not do it. Like they were setting us up like, oh, okay, we're setting up all the zones for the war. No, we're not. We're just going one at a time. And we don't know what's happening or at what point. Because when we go back to Deku and for Shigaraki at some point, we're going to need some type of timestamp on like, oh, and while y'all was doing this, this happened. Because the minute I saw that shit said 20 minutes before that army disappeared, I was pissed. I was like, wow. Like, I don't know. It just breaks up the storytelling for me. Another thing I don't like, I hate when they give somebody too much plot armor. I'm not fucking like 12, right? Like, I'm not. The reason I fucked with Hajime no Ippo is that it's not guaranteed everybody's going to win. Everybody doesn't win because that's more realistic. And obviously, manga and shit like that is fantasy. So I get that. But I hate when they just put too much plot armor on shit, or when they do just when you give somebody too much plot armor. I hate it. I hate it. Like, not a villain, but more, I don't mean it for the villains, but I mean it more so for the antagonist, because to me, it seems like the writer forgot something, or, the person that was writing the manga made the mistake and they have to try to fix it by just making up some bullshit as to why one thing worked or another thing worked. Don't like that. Another pet peeve for me, this is gonna make me sound like the meanest nigga in the world, and that's fine. I hate that power of friendship shit. Y'all kill me with that. I hate it. I hate it. Listen, there's ways that it can work, and there's ways that it, like, okay, a way power of friendship works, Yu Yu Hakusho. A way power of friendship doesn't work, Fairy Tail. Like, sometimes it's just too much. It's just too much. We all got the thing, things that trigger us and stuff. We see, and it's super common in shonen and stuff like that. Like, you'll fight for the people you love, or like, we're going to get your friends next, or like somebody has to protect them and shit like that. That's fine. But sometimes when they too heavy handed with that shit, nah, power of friendship is not getting you through every single thing. It's like, oh, that's what did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, a good example, again, going back to Yu Yu Hakusho, when fucking Yusuke thought he had killed Kuwabara. All right, nigga, that's it. All right, like, Yusuke had to sit forward with the controller after that. No, you killed my mans. I can't fold now. But like, I don't know, man. I don't want to go too deep in it because I know other people got to talk. So I'm gonna just keep it moving. Another pet peeve of mine is I don't like when niggas try to give me all dazzle and no razzle. Don't just give me action and don't give me story. Don't think you finna have me beat with just me watching action scenes. Nah, God of high school. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. God of high school, fucking what's the other one, Bryce? The one that you stuck with? You know what I'm talking about.
Ragnarok.
Yeah, Record of Ragnarok and shit. Stop that. Don't think you just got me beat with you showing me action. I can find action, bro. There's plenty of series. It's I don't know, man. I really, really hate when people just try to go purely action driven. It's like, oh, the story don't matter. Man, it can at least be simple. You can at least keep it basic. I don't like when I have to get action at the sacrifice of story. That's whack to me. So I don't fuck with that neither. And I don't like bad character development. That's kind of my last one. I'm like, I didn't go too deep on it because when I was thinking of them, I was like, had a gang of them.
You went into the flow state.
Yeah, I went into the flow state, bro.
Moving on its own.
Basically, like, I couldn't even think, but like, I don't like, I just don't like when things go that way, just because, like, that's why I'm here. I'm here for character development. That's the whole reason we here. And like, to see certain people like not change based on certain situations, like, or to see characters not get flushed out that should be. I'm gonna scratch my character development and put it on. I don't like a tease that doesn't get paid off. I don't like a tease that doesn't get paid off, and I don't like when motherfuckers hit the brakes on character development for different people. You know what I'm saying? Like, we start off on something and then you just drop off. Like, a manga that really, an anime manga, whatever the fuck, whichever direction you want to take it, that really dropped the ball a lot on developing his characters, or stop, start, and shit like that. Naruto.
Yeah.
Like, there are people they could have gone back to, and I'm not saying you have to go to every single little thing, but I can definitely remember how much they made such a big deal about that whole graduating class and like that all of them, they got through that forest of death and they dealt with all that shit. Like those kids went through literally like the worst shit that any other previous class had to go through. Like even Kakashi and them was like, man, we ain't even have it like this when we was young. Like, what the fuck? And to not see things get paid off or not see any development, like and trying to act like certain shit didn't happen, but then you want me to act like it's part of the continuity. Like I hate to keep ragging on My Hero, but like I think back to the first My Hero movie, and they're like Deku gives one for all to Bakugo. He gives it to him. They team up together, they beat 9 and shit, and then Bakugo doesn't have it anymore. Now, it would have made sense? Well, he lost a lot of blood, like it probably didn't take. He only had it temporarily. Do you know what the answer was? Why Bakugo doesn't have one for all no more? It was a miracle. It was a one for all miracle. He didn't give Bakugo some of his hair. He didn't give him a hair out his fucking head. He gave him his blood. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Like, and they never address it. But that's supposed to be part of continuity. But you don't even address this whole situation. And everybody's supposed to just forget. Bakugo's supposed to forget he had one for all at a certain point. That doesn't make sense. It just, I don't know. It just don't try. It don't try. And going back on them My Hero niggas, we still ain't got no explanation as to why All Might can't use all the powers Deku could use. And All Might had that power for fucking years.
Right.
Like he became the world's greatest hero using one part of them fucking powers. Come on, man. That's where I'm at with it. I'll pass it to I'm gonna pass it to young coach.
I'm gonna go through this list. I'm gonna try not to go off because these things do really piss me off.
No, fuck that.
Numbers, I got 7. So number 7, unanswered.
I got 7.
Unanswered, unfinished subplots. Matt, you kind of touched on this. Don't open a fucking door and not close that motherfucker. That shit pisses me off. I felt that with Naruto with the Genin. It's like you got me invested. I wanted to see how these motherfuckers develop, and I didn't get that. You only got that with certain characters. It's like, what the fuck? Like I got so invested, and like you kind of see that as you go on to the series because the different arcs they focused a lot on Naruto and Sasuke, and it's like, nigga, what about the leaf? What is happening in the fucking leaf? But okay, whatever. It is what it is. Number 6 is My Hero Academia. I feel like that kind of answers itself.
Wait, your mangaka pet peeve is My Hero Academia? Your pet peeve is a series?
Yes.
Hey, yo, hold up, man. TJ, get your man.
No, that was hilarious.
Hey, look.
This nigga said my next pet peeve is My Hero Academia. God damn.
Keeping it real with you. It made my list. All right. Number 5, what a good manga / anime extends post the point of necessity. I hate that shit. When you feel like an anime or a manga hit the point where you're done and they keep fucking going. You don't need to
just say Attack on Titan, bro. It's okay.
Attack on Titan. Motherfucking Naruto. Motherfucking what's another one? Technically GT. GT was terrible. You could have stopped, my nigga. You could have stopped, but you kept going, and it just leaves a bad taste in people's mouths that love the series. And then of course with Naruto, you just had to add the bunny. You had to add the damn rabbit. You didn't need the rabbit. The rabbit was not necessary. You had Madara. You sold us. You sold us with Madara, and then you added the rabbit.
Yeah, but then we wouldn't have gotten Boruto, bro.
Nigga, so? Sorry.
We don't want it.
Sorry, I was just poking the bear.
I knew that's why he said that. God damn it. I was like, I just walked into it.
Number 4, Matt touched on this, but I'm touching it on a different angle. Pause, because of what I'm about to say.
Hey, yo.
Unnecessary freaky shit. AKA
we gotta stop reading each other's minds, but go on.
AKA titty filler. Stop just using fucking just lewdness as a means to hide the bullshit within
looking
the
at
story.
you, Kenichi. Looking at you, Fire Force.
Why the fuck is this here? You don't need it. You do not need it. We are sold. If anything, it's just not necessary. It's just not necessary. It's like putting hot sauce on Skittles. Why would you do that?
Wait, what?
It's like just adding something so random to something that you don't need. That's the only thing I can think of. Oh, I just bought a car. I just filled up the gas tank. Let me add a little water to it. Let me add a little water in the gas tank.
No, bro, hot sauce on Skittles sold me.
That was crazy.
Instantly understood what you were trying to convey off of that.
Bruh, oh my God, don't do that. You don't need it. You do not need it. Right, keep it to it. I hate the entire genre. It's a whole genre that does this.
This is true.
And it's not it's not even the genre that it does it for. Like it's not at least that has a purpose. This is
right.
Just,
I know what you mean. It's like when you see it in what's supposed to be like a battle or a martial arts based shonen, and it's acting like a harem manga or a harem series or some shit like that. It's like, why is this necessary? I feel you. This is one of my pet peeves as well.
Number 3. Oh man, this one. Oh wait. Number 3, the prolonged fight / the fucking level game. Ooh. I hate that shit. Okay.
Bryce hate long fights and manga. He hate them.
But he's a fan of One Piece.
No. Now wait a minute. Now.
Whoa.
I do that. Get you.
No. Because you're right. Wano is a perfect example of that. Wano was too motherfucking long. That shit was ridiculous. And they had a bunch of unanswered, unfinished fucking subplots because they added too much for the fucking fights. They added a character that was not fucking needed. And it's just like
F-bombs in like 0.3 seconds.
You
the Wano arc's still going.
You damn near bored me. You damn near bored me. If it wasn't for Gear 5th, I'd be mad as hell at Wano. Because it's just, what the fuck is this for? You had Luffy fight this nigga 3 fucking times. You gotta fall 3 times. You don't know the three strikes rule, nigga? Come on. 1, 2, 3rd is gear 5th. Now we home. Let's go. What is this? That shit was annoying. Not only that, Ken and Asura. That's another one. Them fights are too fucking long. And they doing too much with the level game shit. I liked it, but I'm just like, my nigga, go down. It's okay.
Get dog in them, Bryce.
Bro. Just lose.
Just lose. You good.
You can come back. He ain't going nowhere.
Record of Ragnarok. They do this shit. It's always some random ass like excuse as to why niggas get up or why they got like a power up or some bullshit, or it's just some shit that they just had the whole time that they just didn't up from jump to just kind of end it.
I feel it's the random level up power up ass pull.
Oh my God.
Shout out my nigga Yusuke up in the spirit gun right away. Not playing with your ass.
Not playing. Oh, and the one it haunts me at night. It's Baki. It was the first time I actually gave Baki a fucking chance. And I couldn't after this point. I couldn't. It was like a random.
When you found out that Baki was like 13.
No. It was a fight. It wasn't even Baki wasn't.
When you found out that Hanayama was actually a 15-year-old. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
No. It's I don't know Baki like that. I just know this particular part. These niggas escaped jail and they started picking fight with these masters. And this one dude got into a fight with a karate master. And the nigga he cut off the karate master's hand. And the karate master said, "Yeah, you cut off my hand, but you did me a favor." Nigga, what?
That was in your defense. That was a pretty wild arc.
That was I was gonna say, Bryce, that's even as Baki fans, a lot of niggas like y'all was kind of bugging on this arc.
Yeah.
Because that was you talking about Dopo Orochi, because that nigga's like, I can punch easier like this.
He was going against Doyle.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. That was pretty fucking wild.
Absolutely wild. Number 2, the 0.5 chapter. I don't know about y'all, but when I'm like deep into some shit and I'm just reading and I'm ready to get into that next chapter to see what happens,
they hit you with that.
I get that 0.5.
Yeah,
I'm about ready to throw my damn laptop.
I feel
that
you.
shit make me so damn mad. I can't stand it. I truly, I gotta breathe. I just gotta go to the scroll and just start the new one. I can't stand a 0.5. The good thing about like being caught up with a manga though, you don't get really that mad about the 0.5. You see it. You see the 0.5, you're like, I ain't even gonna touch it. But when it's already out and you start rolling through and that 0.5 hit, that shit just it pisses you off.
Yeah, on a binge, right? Yeah.
On a binge, yeah. And the number one, the shit that always makes me motherfucking mad is the goddamn pronoun game. The pronoun game. Y'all might not know. This is what I call it. This is what I mean. When something happens in a manga or they introduce a character and they just be like, oh, him. Yes, him. Oh, her. Yeah, her. Hers.
Oh, but like they're hidden from us, the reader, and the current protagonist.
Right.
That plot technique about like introducing them as a rumor and then there's a big reveal. Yeah, I get you. It is.
Bryce don't like seeing characters that still got to get unlocked.
Well, it's not the fact that you like if you gonna introduce a new motherfucking person, okay. But how many motherfucking times can you use the goddamn pronoun? Y'all done said it like 10 fucking times, my nigga. When y'all gonna use nouns? That don't make no sense. No conversation. Maybe it's because I like writing. No conversation works like that. Even if we know what we're fucking talking about, it's just like too head ass. It's like, okay, I get it. You want me to pay attention that I gotta know that it's interesting who this person is. They have some significance. You just need to say it one fucking time. 2 times, okay. 3, you kind of tripping. 4, you are tripping. 5, nigga, you just out your goddamn mind. 6, I don't even care no more. 7, I'ma stop reading. That's just how I feel. That's my list. Go ahead, TJ. God.
Bryce needs to go take a walk. Like,
I hate that. That's the shit that makes me mad. If I see a he or that, oh no, that technique pisses me off the most. That technique.
It's that he's doing that move.
It's like, bitch, what's the name? You know the damn name. Just say the fucking name. Like you about to reveal it in like two fucking pages. Just say the damn name. Damn. I did for y'all having a whole conversation.
Pissed.
Who the fuck has conversations with just pronouns? So you know how hard that is? Fuck. Sorry.
At first, I thought Bryce was about to get us canceled, but now I'm glad he finished his thought.
Right, me too.
I had to let you cook first, Bryce, because I was like, what you mean?
You thought I was going there with it? No.
Hey, I ain't know. I didn't know where you was going with it. That was the thing. We didn't know.
All right. Mine, no particular order. Zone hopping.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking hate it, especially when the current zone is not resolved. An invalidated death pisses me off a lot. If someone's gonna die, let them die. Don't just immediately revive them and lessen the impact. On the manga related note, My Hero. On a non-manga related note, look at what they did with Miss Marvel in Marvel Comics. I don't know if you guys followed how she got killed and then they immediately revived her as a mutant. But it's like, what was even the point?
Can I throw one in there?
That Spider-Man arc was kind of whack, but go on.
Another one if we talking about comics and niggas getting killed and shit. I just want to throw in there when Thanos kills Rhodey before Civil War 2 because Miss Marvel decided that they was just gonna try to jump Thanos when he was just chilling. I didn't like that. That
was unnecessarily violent.
He put his arm all the way through that nigga. I never forgot that. I never forgot that.
I still think about that every now and then because it was too brutal. Like why the Black Iron Man got to get done in anyway?
You know what it is too? It's
like Thanos was just like he did. it was just regular to Thanos too. Like he didn't even think much of the way he killed Rhodey. But anyway.
He also was just blue. Like, I'm not doing shit. Why are y'all here?
Right.
But it's the fact that you have to purposely make a character stupid in order for you to get what you got to get done. It's the same way with Star-Lord. It's like, nigga, I know you mad that Gamora got killed by Thanos, but you got to hit the nigga now. Now when we try to get the gauntlet off, come the fuck on. That fucked up his character. Everybody make fun of Star-Lord now in MCU. It's just like, bro,
it's a little warranted, but you're right.
It's like you can have a million reasons why Thanos didn't, like, they couldn't get the glove off of Thanos. Why the fuck it got to be this nigga got to hit him because he's mad?
Yo, on that topic, even though this is a digression, someone pointed out too, it's like they could have just used one of the ring portals from like to just cut the arm off. That was there the whole time. Like they literally showed that it could do that on dude in the opening scene when Spider-Man and Doctor Strange were fighting old boy in the park. But yeah, my next one is kind of similar to Bryce, the freaky shit. I called it unnecessarily lewd fan service. After a while, it just takes away from the story, or it doesn't even make sense. Again, looking at you, Kenichi. Looking at you, what was the other one? Fire Force, Lucky Letcher. I mean, okay.
I'm a cap for it, but I hear you.
Number 4, the manga comes out every 2 weeks, and you have the audacity to hit us with a cover gallery. You know who you are. Number 5, an arc should not last more than a year. One Piece. Number 6, Kohei Horikoshi.
Damn. Y'all on this dude ass.
Dude, half the fucking pet peeves we talked about can apply to him. Number 7, underused or improperly developed female characters. Give me a Kugisaki any day. Give me a Maki. Jujutsu Kaisen stepped the game up. Mangaka's got no excuse now. They really don't have any excuse. You can give us good female characters who are not just a love interest or a damsel in distress. Like,
and can you give us a good fucking female fight, bro? Oh my god, that's
I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen's kind of delivered on that front. But I feel you. When a subplot just fizzles out, like kind of similar to what y'all were saying with like you open a door or you tease something, you don't close, you don't resolve it, you don't pay off, you don't close the door. Like for me, the one that stuck out to me in memory was, I don't know if you guys read Promise Neverland. I will not watch Promise Neverland. I know what that shit's about. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not trying to see kids get eaten, bro. But Promise Neverland had that little character Phil who was kind of holding it down for Emma and them when they were on their adventure, and he was back at the orphanage. Just he knew what was going on because he's genius level intellect. That's the big thing about these kids, right? They're all geniuses. But it felt like they were building Phil up on the side in some type of subplot, and it just didn't pan out into anything. Like it didn't pan out at all. And I was like, what was the point of introducing Phil as a character and for kind of giving us these, like, every now and then, let's see what's going on in the orphanage, how's Phil doing? But it just didn't develop into anything other than that. Number 9 for me was mismanagement of timelines. Again,
that's a good one.
It's like, it might be because I'm spoiled from Jujutsu Kaisen. I'd even say Kaiju number 8, but there have been some times with Kaiju number 8 where that has been frustrating for me leading up to the final battle. I know Matt can back me up on that because that's something I talked about at length. But you just it goes hand in hand with zone hopping, because bad zone hopping can be done well, but when it's done poorly, you also get mismanagement of timelines. Like this most recent chapter of My Hero, this Iron Might versus Young for One took place 20 minutes before the Toga Twice shit started, right? Like, and then there's all these other events that are happening concurrently, like simultaneously, that is not being tracked well of. Like an example of zone hopping done right with proper management of timelines, when the calling game was in full effect in Jujutsu Kaisen, like if you look at our episodes or our notes, the reason why I think Jujutsu Kaisen is like a top tier example is because every time we switched to zone in Jujutsu Kaisen, the previous zone had concluded, but we get a date and we get a timestamp every single time. sometimes even the location, right? And it allowed you to put everything else on a board, on a map, so you can know that, oh shit, this battle in this section of the calling game is happening in real time along with this battle. So it's like Yuji, Kenji, Megumi, Maki, all of them were battling, Yuta, all of them were battling at the same time, just in different areas. And Jujutsu Kaisen did an excellent job of managing timelines and zone hopping. Number 10 for me was something that My Hero is a big transgressor when it comes to this, but just having too big of a main cast and not managing them properly and having the frequency at which some of the cast members appear not be enough for me to remember their names. This is something I struggle with constantly. It's like, oh shit, I know this character is important, but I haven't seen them forever. I forgot their name. Like, the cast and the supporting cast is just too fucking vast to keep track of all that in my brain. Yeah, that was it. That was my top 10, or sorry, top 5.
Yeah, no, you said
10.
it.
It's what it is. That was my top 10 right there. But yeah, yeah.
Well, with that said, this has been a pretty long one. We are the Now Mind You podcast. It has been. I ain't gonna stunt. But this is the Now Mind You podcast. It's been another episode. You guys can follow all of us individually online. You can follow me at Matt Hambrick. Oh, rewind the tape because I almost forgot about what we got going next week. So let's start this again. This has been another episode of Now Mind You podcast. Next week, what you guys can expect is
not much, actually.
Not a lot. Yeah, it was not a ton.
We might get some Tuesday or midweek drops, but Sunday is gonna be a little sparse, y'all.
Yeah, Sunday's gonna be sparse. We got a break on My Hero because God loves us and God exists. We getting a break on Jujutsu Kaisen, which lets you know the devil is real.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about how last week when you said there was My Hero, I was like, fuck. Was like...
You was hot about that shit. We won't have Kaiju either. We actually won't even get Sakamoto Days.
Yeah, that hurts, but that's what it is.
Yeah, the only thing we're going to be getting next week is Hajime no Ippo. As far as our manga.
Chainsaw Man?
Oh no, you know what? Yeah, we'll only have My Hero and Chainsaw Man. I forgot. Chainsaw Man will be out. It comes out on the 8th. So next week we will only have Hajime no Ippo and Chainsaw Man as far as our manga is concerned. And our topic of the week next week is slated to be, oh man, petty anime character Mount Rushmore. Petty, not to be confused with the pretty anime niggas that we did. This is the petty.
There's a Venn diagram there, but go on.
There's a Venn diagram there. You are correct. We got the petty anime character Mount Rushmore. We are only doing 4, no order. But for y'all two, I will honor 3 honorable mentions only on both of y'all. 3.
No, my petty.
I'm letting y'all shift a 4-person thing to 7. PJ finna come with 25, which is fine. He gonna be like, this Coast Rushmore. This the Rushmore country. But with that, we will see you guys next week. You can follow me at Matt Hambrick. That's MATTHAMBRIC, wherever you like to get your social media. TJ.
Y'all can find me on Instagram at Tuss4Skate. That's TUSS4_SKATE. Bryce.
Find me on Instagram at Akshay_Onsa. That's AXE_ONCA. Bay. Where can they find us?
They can find us at Now Mind You Podcast, wherever you like to get your podcast and wherever you like to get your YouTube videos, because we're there too. And we are on all social media platforms as well. So be sure to give us a follow. Check us out. And with that, we will see you guys next week. Be safe. Peace out.
Peace.